Now we go into a map where, again, statistically very heavily favored. Like, we haven't seen much from Na'Vi on Nuke, or at least much in terms of victories, as they have a 33% win rate. Here's one that they played quite a bit more than anyone else, but they're losing a lot to the big dogs, even to teams like Heroic when it came to, well, a while ago, but even still. Look at this wraparound. Already the T is going to be getting into heaven. Four of them, in fact, keep stacking up, but it's just every kill going the way of the CT side. They've watched out for the man behind them. Guardian, it's messy. In fact, he didn't even get that kill.
Simple. Literally just had to bail him out of the most awkward round of his life. Stanislaw arrives on the scene, though, tries to kick up a fuss. That's going to be one very crisp headshot, but that's all he gets, is that one crisp headshot. As Na'Vi, they claim the round, straight back in, straight to giving it, as they do walk away with a pistol round here on Nuke. Yeah, Guardian's going to get some extra hair on his chest after that one. That was a bit scary.
Yeah, that was a messy fight, but hey, when you got players like Simple, you can afford to slip up every once in a while. Either way, we are going to see an investment out. Lots of utility coming in. Smoke's going to be thrown outside, or at least an additional one, but it's a bit of a shallow smoke being thrown by Tarek, just to gain him that cross from mainly any of the rifles. Now the secondary smokes will come down, but this is a bit more of a ruse. They're going to try and challenge onto ramp instead. On the other side is going to be Flamey. Did damage in the last round and finally gets onto the board in terms of kills. However, they should now have a good rotation into this B site.
B site bombardment about to occur. Simple. Can he blacklist them, though? I tell them they're not allowed in, as he lurks hiding right now. No one clearing towards dark spot. He's got an opportunity to deny the bomb plant with a silencer as well. They're going to be paranoid, unsure of its exact location. They take the fight to him, and they do win it. Ethan with the CZ drops him, switches out to the Deagle, but his teammates, they're falling all around him. It's a 2 versus 3, but they're outgunned. That's the bigger picture.
Yeah, they're slowly being whittled away. Guardian will eventually drop the bomb for a second time and spots Breezy moving in his direction. Teammates running in to help him out as well to make sure that there isn't really a chance they lose this round. He really isn't loving that USP at the moment, is he?
It's betrayed him at every opportunity.
Oh! It's not even him to go down. That's Electronic getting domed. Thankfully, Guardian will eventually close it out, and they should be able to retrieve both rifles at least, so not the worst case scenario. Also no bomb plant, which, although Simple does only manage to get one, it's an important kill. He denies that extra money. You can see how an extra $800 could have awarded Evil Geniuses with a buy. Instead, they're going to have to wait that little bit longer.
Into round 3. EG, just with the pistols coming out. What can they achieve? They are taking it towards outside. The Molotov will slow things down, whilst also turning up the heat. Electronic, great game on Dust 2. Potentially a similar affair here if he can get himself going. However, Guardian is redeeming himself for the missed USD shots. There's a lot of damage comes out. A very quick and clean round from Na'Vi. No one dies. They make all the money, and they're going to be happy with that. The full 3-0 has been picked up, and this is where the game really starts to begin. EG, can they bring the ruckus now, as they do don the Kalashnikovs and bust out the Kriegs, Tom?
Yeah, and actually Na'Vi have done a great job in that round of setting themselves up nicely for future rounds, like giving them a chance to actually buy in. The SMG from Boomage is not going to be too much of a hindrance. We see shotguns working, we see SMGs working on this map all the time because of a lot of the close range positions available. Initial nades also going to be doing a bit of damage, but EG, this is as good as a buy is going to get. Okay, maybe an AWP is missing. They just look at it, pick up the pace, though. Wrap straight around Simple. He's ready for it. He sprays down 2. He can't quite connect onto the 3rd. Stan is left on 1 HP, as said. It seems to happen so much within this series. Breezy connects onto 1 and the 2nd as well. The T's scrape through the round with Breezy at the helm. I think it's important that he gets off to a strong start in particular, as that sort of trifecta of this EG side were kind of underwhelming in the last map.
Yeah, they need to come in strong. individually, like, they've had a bit of a struggle with Cirque as well, and he's normally such a big factor for them. He didn't really show up on Dust 2. He was quite quiet. I want to see some Cirque later on into this matchup. That'd be a bit more CT side for me, where I feel like he's really going to punish, but if everyone else can start dealing damage, that would be the dream scenario. They do go fast, ferocious, on towards the A site. They've hit him with the speed. They've claimed the site. The bomb's already going down, so this is a much better display. Can they lock it down? They've got smokes. They can restrict the push from main, try and waste as much time as possible. There actually isn't a single kit in play for Na'Vi as well, Tom, so time is of the essence.
I don't even know if this becomes worth it anymore for Na'Vi, especially with all the utility that's being expended. Electronic is going to find a kill back in, but the clock is ticking, and as you mentioned, there isn't a kit, so they're fighting. And they're going to have to run very, very quickly into the site. Luckily, they're getting a lot of the kills, and they're trapping them out. They need to get someone onto that defusal very quickly, though, and I don't even know if they have enough time. I don't think they do. So they've killed absolutely everyone, which, hey, that's great. Do they keep all their weapons? Just about. That's actually very impressive. Like, insanely impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Like, to get back into the A site, kill everyone, sure, you ran out of time, but also hold on to 4 of your guns. Well, there's no doubt that Electronic's going to buy back in and get something into this next round. The T side get away with the bare minimum, and if Na'Vi can win this round, they're right back in the driver's seat. The problem now is, though, if EG just grind out another round, it's all null and void.
I'm actually shook that's the way it's gone. It's crazy. It seems like they're going to try and do it again, though, because they had so much success into the prior round. This time, they've got Simple to try and deny entry, but he's lost his brothers in arms. Guardian and Boomich, both gone. Simple, he has to be the guardian angel of the game, trying to spam onto Ethan. He's getting punished by Cirque. And Flamey's the only one that's left. As you said, EG, they have completely rewrote history there. Wiped out Na'Vi's names from the books, as this round meant nothing for them. And everything they did in the prior has been taken away.
Yeah, and the bigger problem is, okay, sure, the loss bonus is a little bit further built up, but they're still not going to be able to have much of a buy into the next round. EG have got their third, they keep 4 alive, and yeah, without winning that round, it's nice. It obviously helps them in the long run that EG don't survive with a lot of players, but at the same time, considering this round was never punished, the T side have quite a bit of finance left. And I like the fact that they had the balls to do that again. Like, that is risky as hell to just go running into the same site twice, maybe expecting utility to be a little bit minimal, but Na'Vi didn't really seem to have a response. The only thing now that worries me a little bit, they got the 2400 loss bonus. They did a lot of damage again. Like, Flamey did kill off a few people. Simple's going to be handed the AWP, and I'm wondering if there'll be much more of an investment. No. It's just going to be played safe by Na'Vi. I like to see it. I want to get them on a 4-buy. Have a proper battle between these two sides. And instead, EG, they still have a fair amount to beat in the next round. But I like the fact that this AWP's gone to Simple. So they know what they want. They want their explosive player to try and pop off.
If there is a man that can really leave a deep wound, he would be the one to do so. However, EG, they might be able to avoid him. Send the majority of the squad over towards ramp to try and establish control. Flamey is there, but Flamey, he's not alive for long. Killed by the Krieg. Simple rotates around. He's on the A site, but no one is there. They're all going to be going down towards B. They have to drop through the vent. Will this triumphant trio of CTs be able to recover from this awkward position they've been left in, Tom?
Surely Simple just goes and saves now, right?
You'd think, but it is Simple.
He's on 37 HP. Like, I can understand how much damage they've done, and they will be able to buy one in the next round anyway. He's got a single frag, and Electronic does actually trade, so they make things interesting here.
Oh!
That's gross. Just a pop through the door. And Electronic is going to meet the same fate. 4-3. 3 players survive once again. Still not a huge amount of money built up for EG. And now we get the buy on the board. But I do wonder if maybe having that saved up could have been a bit better. At least in terms of extra weaponry. Maybe a slightly better set of utility. At least for Guardian. I'm hoping also they buy a kit this time, because that was their main hindrance in that previous round. No, they don't.
awkward as it's happening once again. The pain train arrives in the station of A site, but Electronic has derailed them with a beautiful double kill. Boomich and Simple a frag apiece as well, and it's all up to Stanislaw, the high-flying, high-fragging in-game leader of Evil Geniuses. A big brain, an even bigger brawn. As the biceps come out, he gets the opener, hits his head for a little bit of a wake-up call as well on the way out. Now he's left to try and clutch this round. It's a 1 versus 4. The bomb is down, and Electronic is here to try and make a meal out of it. Should spot him as he's coming towards the vent.
I do wonder if that smoke was meant to go a bit further in an attempt to retrieve it. And he's just going to get spammed through the corner of the vent in the end. Good resurgence from Na'Vi. I think that was necessary, because the last few rounds we have just seen EG go blasting through that A site, and I was sure they did a bit of damage, but they needed to stop that early, because otherwise EG are just going to fall back into that. Now they're forced into much more of a strategical round. The problem is that damage. Spoke about it before, the amount of cost that Na'Vi was causing every single round, and it's finally hit them a little bit. Tarek only going to have a pistol. There's a few pieces of utility missing. Still no AWP for Circle, though. I wonder if that's more of a choice. A lot of teams don't like bringing that in so much on the T side. He himself, I'm sure, would be happy to don one.
Trying to take out side control, slowly but surely advancing forward. Simple. Gaze set over towards Garage. Guardian, he has the opposite exit as well. So they do have Stanislaw and Tarek trapped. But who is going to be quicker on the draw when they try and slip out through outside? Seeming like the most likely want to go for a late round A play. Stanislaw faster there, as he will be able to eliminate Simple. Guardian now, knowing that they're both still there, should try and catch them off on the rotation. The push will come out in towards the inside. Actually, though, they're going towards ramp. Flamey's been forced off. Guardian caught with his pants around his ankles based on the timing. Everything's going wrong for Na'Vi, Tom.
Yeah, this wraparound could cause some real trouble for Boomage. The other two players, family dedicated. It's going to come down to the timing. Cirque kicks in, and that's the crucial kill. That's round over. The remaining two CTs can't fight this, especially when their economy is in the dirt. A 5th round will be coming in. Now, Electronic is going to have a little bit of loss bonus. He could drop. Flamey maybe drop a FAMAS, and it's not the end of the world. Boomage probably the one to take the hit. I wonder how far they're actually going to go here. Especially Electronic with almost a full belt of utility. Definitely doesn't seem worth risking it for a single kill. Although, as mentioned, that's one thing they have done very well, is keeping the T-side economy honest. The problem is, being on that favored side of the map, even though T-side rounds are much more plausible nowadays, you need to be the one keeping your economy strong, rather than constantly trying to whittle away your opponents. Whereas if you're on the T-side and the CTs, you want to be getting rid of as many weapons as possible and stopping those rebuys.
Na'Vi, actually a pretty damn good buy coming out of this, so it's lucky they were able to hold on to both of those weapons, obviously being able to drop over with the cash they've got. Everyone's going to be quite happy with this. They will use a pause, though. ZG have now finally established dominance into the game, taking it to a 5-4 scoreline. Take a tactical timeout and hash it out before we carry on with this decider. Also got Cirque. He's on the T side AWP. I wonder if we'll see that outside aggression coming through early on. It's always nice to see. I mean, the thing is with Cirque, right, is he's not had the classic Cirque experience, I'd say. Normally, he is just high-flying, he's outrageous, he goes for these mad entry frags that would just be crazy to see with an AWP, but you can always rely on him. Whereas today, he's been quite quiet.
I think he at least on the CT side of Mirage made a big impact, like especially when you look at how they ended out the map. Like it was him with the solo AWP. There was also a couple of like multi-kill rounds where you saw glimpses of what he's capable of. Dust 2, definitely underwhelming. And now, well, T-side and Nuke, I'm not going to expect him to be a world beater, but when we switch halves, that's where expectations rise. Breezy as well. I think that in that second map, he's the man that I always look to have a strong performance for them. Either way, in the early situations in this round, a much slower take from EG. They don't want to get Na'Vi used to their plays. You can see the CT side, limitations to utility, but also having to expend an awful lot early because they're worried about those sort of plays. EG have put that into their mind that they want to be just running into this A site. Already a fairly early rotation into B, just in case we have seen that spot, but by the looks of it, EG are going to go for more of the same. They've been successful at taking this A site, so why not?
Boomage with the MP9. Can he break some necks and assassinate? No. Caught on the sideline. Breezy and Ethan a frag apiece. Runs through the fire. But this is only going to raise his temperature into the round as Na'Vi, they've got to back off. They realize the job is done. It's set in stone. This is going to be an EG round. It'll go 6-4. And there is nothing more that can be done to try and stop that.
Yeah, they're really struggling to basically break one of the more simplistic rounds out from EG at the moment. Sure, they have all the set utility, which makes things very difficult for some of the players, but note that it's only really been Boomage defending it 9 times out of 10. Like, every time we've seen them go into that site, he has to do something huge. Either that, or it's, like, for example, we saw Electronic spraying through the smoke. That was one of the other rounds that they managed to win. I think Simple was alongside him. It's just too much of an easy take for them with just, again, some fairly basic utility. Of course, it takes a lot from their entry fraggers to consistently get those rounds. But again, this is similar to what we saw on Mirage. Like, there were a lot of rounds where EG didn't have to do too much. It was just good entry fragging, good utility usage, and then they cleared out the site and forced them to save. And that's why, again, if you look at the kill distribution, you would say that this could easily be Na'Vi in the lead at the moment. But I think EG have definitely been the better side.
They need something to change with this A-take, and putting Guardian there with the AWP to cover towards Squeaky could be the change that they so dearly needed. Unfortunately for them, they might have had the right idea, but they've broken the norm top. They're going for the outside control. This is where things have been switched up. The smokes are down. It allows safe passage for EG. As they solemnly swear they're up to no good. They make their move down through Secret, rather. Guardian peeling back scabs with the AWP. Oh, the adjustment is fantastic as he gets free and somehow survives. Finally goes down. A Circle punish him with a P250, but he's already done more than enough into the round. Cirque, a struggle and a miss as he couldn't beat out Simple over by the vents. There is only 2 players remaining for EG. The American All-Stars stranded now. 27 and 44 HP left for them in a 2v3 scenario. Can they clutch this out?
I think it would take a lot. Flamey already waiting for them in a position that you'd normally expect him to at least be able to get one, especially now the information being called. He's just going to sit back, and that's all he really needs. Get a single kill, and that is it. He even gets both in the end. Assists from his teammate, and a 5th on the board. And that could be the spark that ignites Na'Vi. Guardian with a huge round, setting them up nicely. We finally see a bit of a change. Outer control actually properly challenged for. I think that's the first time we've actually seen EG actually take outside control completely. Like, we saw Tarek go down there once, and then they rushed ramp. But as a squad, I think that's the first time they've actually gone in that direction.
(6-5). 1 round is the difference between these two teams. It's close once again. Guardian, though, looks to try and peel out ahead, as he is peeling off ahead. Cirque goes down. It's a great opening frag to establish a bit of dominance into the game. Outside control working so far for EG. Guardian is going to have to shatter that window and then start to break the bones of the evil geniuses as they come towards him.
Electronic. He's gone down. Boomage is there for the trade. It looked like, again, there's that wraparound, but will be picked off. Simple maybe going for a little bit too much as He's going to give the T's a chance to get back into this. There's still plenty of time. Ethan and Stan going to be able to retrieve the bomb. Ethan definitely wary of a second player peeking from that angle, and it's possible. Look at Boomage. He's wrapping back around that direction as we speak. It's all going to come down to the timing of him getting up the stairs. It doesn't even matter. Guardian's going to find that kill. Boomage then comes in from behind. It seems like Na'Vi have started to bring this back a little bit. Some much better rounds coming in from the CIS squad, and I think they've started to catch on to a lot of the things that EG are doing. Like, the wraparound outside is fairly common. The problem is we didn't just see that blast into the site once again. And I do still wonder if that's just going to be the bread and butter of EG's round, where they just run into that site, win it, and then, well, Na'Vi are left looking a little bit silly.
Depends on Guardian for me. That was the move, the adaptation. However, wow, a lot of damage done from the early utility usage towards ramp. Flamey, the smart play, you know, they're coming, just back off, drop towards the site and wait for the rotation of your teammates. Try and stay alive and look for the 2 frags to buy them time. He couldn't, though. Not even a single kill mustered up by the man. As he will drop to the DECK. Simple, though, throws the clip back into the AK and looks to try and slay as he sits over by Decon Door. The CTs are arriving. The retake is still going to be hard, although the utility has been the real MVP this far.
Shots going through, but unfortunately for them, there's no one there. And actually, Tarek's going to find another. His teammate bypasses him in the smoke, and Cirque spamming away actually gives another kill. Breezy with a nice shot, and he gets a second as well. I think he's put this round to bed. 2 quick 1-digs, and it's him again in these pistol rounds, who is just unbelievable. Even saves an AWP, and I'm sure there was fist bumps going his way left, right, and center, because he's just won a 7th round. An utterly ridiculous closeout, and look at the damage to Na'Vi's economy again. You'd have to question, like, those early round scenarios, would it have been better just for a fallback? Not going down, not giving the rifle over, not giving them that much space. You need to be able to retreat and get away.
And now Tom, we see them potentially looking like they're going to go back to the bread and butter, the play that's been working so well for them, as they could go in for another A play. Na'Vi, they try and scrape through with a buy in the round, and it could have been much worse. They at least have rifles to work with. Boomage is just down to the CZ. But in round 14, if this is all you're being able to bring out, this is your entire arsenal. It's not a great spot to work with. Secret control is being established as well, as they've started to make their move down the stairs, winding round the corners as they sliver towards this B bomb site. And this time, Guardian's not there with an AWP. He's not going to be punishing and picking them to pieces. Instead, they'll be able to get in for free. They use the flashbang to try and turn the corner. Molotov down as well in case anyone's hiding on the stairs. And they've got that B site. Breezy, he's just waiting as well for the backstab, the rotations to come around. Simple was poised and pixel perfect as he gets that kill back.
The thing is, there's already 2 players on this lower bomb site. Make that a 3rd coming in the form of Electronic on the flank. The T's need to get moving quick, and Flamey from this position has been a real problem for them. They're unable to clear him once again. 3 kills from the same spot, and quickly they eliminate EG. I don't know what just happened there. They really seem to struggle. I feel like they need to almost save a Molotov if they're going to go in that direction, because that's the 2nd time now where he's had a multi-frag round that has won a round for Na'Vi.
Pause coming in for EG. They're going to make the most of this final round of the half. Talk about it. You might as well. You want to get that slight advantage, and 8-7 is really going to give you a bit more momentum going forward. But the fact this has been so close bodes well for the series, Tom. As a decider, a Nuke game that's going 8-7 at the half, this is going to be outrageous.
Yeah, bodes well, but at the same time, you kind of think the CT side need to go in with a lead. Like, most of the time, yeah, sure, you're going to see a few rounds, maybe 5, 6, maybe 7, going onto that T side, but you're more expecting the CT side to have those strong performances. Like a 9-round half is decent, especially gives you a buffer in case the pistol goes the other way. And if we see this as an 8-7, EG win the pistol, they get their money rolling, I don't know if Na'Vi are going to be able to do it. Like, it's tough to break through these rounds. A lot of the things we've seen from EG so far have just been all-out brute force for the first few that they managed to get. And then it just came down to switching things up, finding new weaknesses within the defense. This time, there's a few holes in the offense. Some pieces missing once again. The weaponry's not ideal. The utility definitely not. Even 2 players without head armor, which, well, when I see a silenced M4, does worry me a little bit. Guardian. Been so clinical before. Electronic actually going to be dinked up as well. Definite possibilities here for the T side. They've managed to gain that space on outside again, but the thing is, at this point, the CT side are more than expecting these sort of plays.
Hiding behind the box. As he'll batter the first, somehow scrapes through on the second as Tarek is tackled. Stanislaw, luckily enough, will get the flick off. Overthrows him with that P250, the sidearm doing damage. It's a 3-on-4 now, though. And they're slowly starting to trickle out towards the A site. Stanislaw coming up by Crow's Nest. Simple. Tucked in by the CT vent. Boomic there to assist, but Boomic is gone. Broken by Ethan. It's an equal situation to play from. Eliminating Simple is huge for the momentum of the round, though the bomb can be planted. And it's a flamey Guardian retake.
Obviously going to be going for it. Trying to pop up the vent is going to be Guardian. A couple of flashbangs to try and pop Flamey in, but the time is ticking. Got to get their move on. Hoping to try and find something back into this. A Stan sat on the other side. Nice shot at least. But it is only going to be onto Flamey. He's had some big moments. Tries to bait out a man from above. Maybe expecting him to be a little bit further forward. But it isn't going to be the case. EG, they take themselves 8 rounds over on the T side. A strong performance out from them. And it's going to be up to Na'Vi to bring this back on their T side.
Here we go. As close as it could get at the end of the half, Tom. 8-7, EG barely got themselves the extra round. to bring it up to this scoreline. Now they move over to the CT side. Will things be easier for them? Or can Na'Vi start to establish some disgusting dominance?
Yeah, certainly should be easier for EG on this second half, but at the same time, I think we've seen some impressive T-sides out from Na'Vi thus far. Some individual brilliance, and they're going to look to maybe fake things out a little bit. Early flashbang over to the ramp, but it's just to try and bait people in. It's such a small amount of utility to try and sell a fake as they go running into the site. Tarek is going to be the one to start things off as they try and smoke things off, but even still, the T's have managed to trade this back into a positive situation, but the bomb has yet to be planted, and Guardian is going to opt to back away. This has somehow worked very well in their favor, holding onto the vent, as now they can go rotating, but there is still a man in behind. Cirque lurking in the back lines, opening the door to try and get them off the plant, and he succeeded in that. Looking for a little bit more. Spams off on Boomage as well, and leaves just Flamey remaining. 1 versus 3 has quickly gone wrong for Natus Vincere. Can he find anything else? No, he can't. Tarek closes down the round. A couple of kills to add to what has been a fairly small collection from him. But as they're going onto the CT side, I can't expect that things will keep going in this direction.
Born to win, but looking like they're destined to lose versus EG right now. Unfortunate stuff for them. It's early doors into the second half. They've still got time to bring this back. But with just these pistols, I don't know really how much damage they're going to be able to pack going forward. Cirque chucking out the nade towards outside. Should do a bit damage towards the electronic. Not that much, but at least slows down the push as Na'Vi, they are just sprinting their way through, skipping through the fields, but being left pushing up roses right now as Cirque will get 2. Simple with the response to their headshot with a deagle, but he's not got much chance to run away and cause havoc into the round as it's all left on Guardian, and he's dead.
All in all, not bad though. Like with the amount of rebuys this is going to force, they've kept 2 Famises and a MP9, and now we come up with the full-fledged buy for Na'Vi, so this is the opportunity for them. That said, there'll be a couple of extra guns purchased up. It's 2 M4s that end up in the hands of Tarek and Stan. Question is, can they make this buy work? And if they do, is there any way that Na'Vi actually come back into this? I feel like they need the early start. That was something they were good at, even on Mirage when things were a little bit closer. Spotted outside. They're actually just taking the bare bones fights, not even utilizing smokes. They just want to try and face off against what they know is weaker weaponry. And at least in the initial duels, it's Cirque to take most of the damage.
Slow round. They have got outside. Atham, he's probably going to be the defender if they try and fight their way down through secret. He's got the MP9. Oh, and he's actually pushing up as well, trying to go for the bolder information play. Cirque will be tested soon. Ethan could actually get a backstab off. That will be the bigger picture.
Good kill from Boomage on the outside. Almost one back. Snap from Boomage to take the head off of Ethan as well.
That's crazy.
The question is, where do they go from here? They have the bomb in their control. The CT side have stacked up mostly into this A site. In fact, Electronic wrapping round should have a free kill onto Stan. He's trying to find out if there's anybody here, but just waiting for his teammates to get a little bit closer. That's actually really clever. Just make sure that they can now run straight down onto the B side without any chance of a rotation getting there in time. And Boomage, on low HP, is just stacking up frags. His third of the round. This buy that's come in for Na'Vi has worked flawlessly, and as said, they did a lot of damage in the prior. This isn't a bonus round for the side of Evil Geniuses. They're going to run out of cash.
Beautiful free K found into the round. It's outrageous he even found that flick onto Ethan. Spammed him up so low with the MP9, but it didn't matter. He told him to sit down and rallied around Na'Vi, so they will get themselves an 8th round. 10-8. It's getting closer again. Tarek should get the way with the save, though. It'll be fine. You can hold on to the M4 armor and flash. So it could have been much worse for him. But for EG, it's probably as bad as it gets, Tom.
Yeah, this really is the lifeline for Na'Vi. Getting off to that strong start, not allowing EG to not only keep their economy going, but more importantly, buy back up with all of the weapons that they saved from your purchase. Now the T's have a chance to actually make a little bit of money of their own. The thing is, the CT side is still going to purchase around this. The M4's been chucked over to Breezy. Tarek taking the sacrificial role, and Cirque has managed to at least pick up FAMAS, but even still, this is not a good situation for them whatsoever.
Ethan playing close with a 5-7 in hut. He was hoping someone was going to try and evict him from his home, but no one comes towards him yet. Gambling slightly as he looks to try and edge it round, whereas Na'Vi have other ideas of where they want to head to. They hope to paint the town red towards outside. They're going to pick up the bomb, drop the smokes, start to aggress down towards Secret. Cirque, he can flash over, and they can actually peek this. Stanislaw's there. He's got a deagle. Timing is going to be everything. He calls to go for the flash. He hopes to peek it. Doesn't really work. Flamey finds him and frags him. And now they start to slide down Secret.
Simple, just lurking around. He's got to be careful. His job is almost solely to hold off the rotations, but doesn't want to risk handing the gun away. Luckily, his teammates have decided they're going to burst back, and with the full gamble into that B site, the CT side have to come running back. Breezy with the majority of the work to do. Electronic already low, but he's going to peek in. Simple, and it's close, but it's not quite enough. They're doing damage, but they're not taking any frags, and while the last man left is Tarek, an extra $600 gained off the UMP. I think that'll be it for this round. A 9th onto the board for Na'Vi. And EG, well, chances are we're just going to see this leveled now. So all that extra leeway they gained themselves off the back of the pistol and off winning that final round is diminished.
Oh, Tarek with a timing. He'll be throwing a tantrum after that one. Flamey fragging him out. Steals back to Krieg. Isn't going to let that slip over to the CT side where it can be, oh, so deadly. EG, that would have been a 1 lifeline for him as well, as they don't have any money. They're not really going to have much at all going into this round. That one flashbang of Tarek's could be the only edge they potentially have, and even then, it's really not much.
Yeah, I'd quite like to see them just burst outside, just throw that flashbang in and just try and overwhelm whoever has or is waiting for them. Currently sat there waiting just around Mini. It does look like that is the potential strategy for them. There's not a whole lot you can do with a single flashbang and just some pistols on this map, so this is going to be one of the ideas. And there you go. That's already got them a kill from above. They find a second. I would say this is already a relative success for EG. Chance of winning the round still slim, but Breezy's now got an AUG in his hands, and they're still looking to try and make things difficult. The wraparound will come in to try and gain some ground in heaven. And with one player smoked off, they can actually get that position for free.
Oh, the flashbang comes through as they waterfall in towards the bomb site. Simple and Guardian, though, get both of the frags and stop what could have got quite messy there as Ethan, he looked quite ergonomic. He was looking very comfortable into that round with the USP, somehow just popping heads no matter the awkward position he was in. However, as they burst out onto the site, normality is restored for Na'Vi as the AKs will punish. And that should be the round done. Oh, simple. Nearly falls there. Breezy actually gets the Krieg and gets away as well.
Oh, he's not going to survive. That's not bad at all. 3 players dropped. Breezy keeping an SG and making sure at least there's going to be some rebuys for Na'Vi. The problem is they have built up a bank over the last few rounds. They've been able to keep them relatively clean, and as you can see, Boomage before the buy, it's going to have $9,700. Simple still with $7,800. So they're in a fairly good position here. But this is where they're finally going to get challenged. Still, no AWP available for Cirque just yet, which is a bit of a disappointment. However, other than that, they've got pretty much everything they desire.
Guardian's got the T-side AWP now. No real avenues to attack yet found for him. Boomich is the man that's actually looking to potentially get the pick towards outside early on. Luckily, Guardian rotates back around. They can smoke for him. Electronic could boost him up over the box if he wants to take the face. But they're waiting for the right timing for all of this, as that's what it really does come down to, when to strike, so that it's going to be picture perfect. Outside is the play, Stanislaw. He's been set up in the past by Cirque to try and find success. This time, not as aggressive, playing deep towards Garage.
They've managed to gain a lot of control already in this round, and Tarek is going to be the main point of contention here. Molotov forcing him off is probably going to pull a rotation, and it has. Cirque makes his way into the site in that same position. Looking to be challenged once again. He looks to get deep into the door. This is such a risk, but the timing is perfect. However, it's only 1 for 1. Back in this corner once again, though, is Cirque. Wraparound coming in from Simple, and I think Stan should have him fairly easily dead. It is still going to come down to Cirque, though. Again, we're looking for at least a kill from the Bulgarian. The Molotov, they're actually going to throw one in. That was something we didn't see from EG pretty much all the way through. It forces Cirque forward. He gets a kill, but Flamey doubles up. He continues what has been a fantastic performance. Bomb goes down, and now into the 2v2, they have a good chance.
It's all to play for here. Flamey's got 8 HP, though. So he could be slain in an instant. Ethan needs to get the kill on Electronic, but he couldn't do it. Stanislaw, the IGL, the man of the moment. Time's ticking away. He has the kit. He's got a flashbang, but that's it. No real advantages to the round. Nothing established as well. No one's peeking him. Time's ticking down. And he'll probably start to make his move out of here. Does go for it, but Flamey had the angle. It's an easy frag to find. The headshot is landed. And Na'Vi take it 11-10.
Yeah, and we've got Flamey now kicking off. Like, that's the thing. We've had different players popping off in this map, and yeah, Flamey with a big 4K to, more importantly, set EG back on what was a decent purchase from them. Now, at least going into the next round, we should at least see an AWP coming up. So that should change the dynamic of the CT defense. They can start being a little bit more aggressive with their plays on outside. And I think that's going to be important for them. Maybe set Cirque up on ramp and like less defend certain positions because they can rely on him. This round, at least, it's just going to be some pistols once again. They know that Na'Vi have been enjoying this out of control. Timing going to be everything, and actually Cirque will win that initial duel. I don't think he's going to get away with anything more, and they do still have to be careful. There's another man to deal with. Stan, the man, gets one with a 5-7, does some damage at least, but still, it's only into a 2 versus 2. Possibilities for EG. They've won rounds like this before, stolen them from Na'Vi, and have stolen an AK and the bomb.
Easy spray down from Simple to send Tarek out of the server. Ethan grabs the AK, slowly advances forward as he is pushing up. Left in the 1-on-2. Time ticking away. About 40 seconds left on the clock now. Simple with the bomb. Doesn't want to risk it as he extends out. He's left in the open, and Ethan will punish him as he connects the headshot. This is where it really gets awkward now. Flamey, he's fairly low, 79 HP. It's all about the headshots. He's got to get the bomb. He has a smoke, but he isn't going to know where to use it. Ethan gives the position away. It's an awkward spray. He can't connect it, and Flamey will frag him as Na'Vi get their 12th on a 1v1 clutch, Tom. God, that was close.
Yeah, no, I don't really understand. I thought that was going to be a moment for Ethan to give them that lifeline. They're actually going to take a tactical pause off the back of this because it has now been a streak of rounds in favor of Na'Vi. Their money is enough to buy into the next round, even if they lose. And we've started to see the rise of Flamey over the last few rounds. And this is where there needs to be someone on the other side to try and counter this. I think Cirque should be having his AWP here. So that's at least something that will change in the dynamic of the defense, but clearly they feel like they need a little bit more. They need to talk about what's going on. The out of control has definitely been a problem for them, a sort of polar opposite to what we saw from EG's T-side, where they were very much an inner-focused team. Instead, there's been a lot of smokes outside, different variations of it to try and gain different amounts of control, maybe give them the opportunity to wrap around. And more importantly, Na'Vi have spent a lot of their time heading into the B side.
signs of this one, though. Blow the door off. Drop the smoke to try and keep Evil Geniuses guessing if this was going to be a fast-paced play on towards the A site. Instead, it's again just the same default from Na'Vi. Standard stuff. Not going to break the formula that's been working so well. Electronic has already been able to slide over towards Secret, though. Right up close and personal. He can actually push down. There's no one there. Everyone is on the overground. No one down below, Tom.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting how much space he's going to be able to gather up. Speaking about like changes being made, and it seems like they've actually got less presence on that side of the map, especially with the amount of noise that is now actually being made with Molotovs and such, but maybe trying not to fall into the bait at this point in time. Cirque is going to start things off with that AWP, and Electronic coming back up means that all that B side presence is gone. They're going to throw a smoke again. They've done this before. They throw it into ramp and they go barreling in, and caught out a little bit is Ethan, but he is going to be surviving at least for now. Left in the corner. Still 2 players here left, and while it's going wrong, the T's taking so much damage, but still into a 2v2. With Cirque from above, but both players so desperately low. They're going to try and reset this round, send it to the B site.
Oh, bitch. What? He's got away with the frag. He takes down Stanislaw. Cirque, you can see, between 2 minds, debating whether or not they had fully committed towards the site. Over at the B site, Simple. He's got down there. He's got the drop on him. He's got the AK as well, and it's only going to take a single bullet delivered right into the brain. As Cirque realizes what's gone on, it's already too late. He is dead. And Na'Vi win themselves their 13th round. They're getting close to closing this down. That's such a lucky outcome on the clutch. Simple, just with the timing, barely gets through the vent. I don't know how in the hell Boomich has got that frag as well. Like, that's mental.
They've been so clutch in this game, and that's the thing. Like, in some of these rounds now, you start to question whether or not EG are necessarily doing anything wrong. Like, they had the right setup there. They didn't rotate when they had heard a player go down towards B. They assumed that it was going to be an A take. They had all the right players in the right positions. They did ridiculous amount of damage, and then it comes down to the clutch scenarios, and Na'Vi just win it out. And yeah, there was a few lucky timings in the mix, but the fact is that's happened a few times now where there's been opportunity. There's been 1v2s that Ethan has come close to winning, and it's normally something that you can rely on. Also, Stan has really slowed down. Like, he started this game off quite well, at least in the initial rounds. Instead, he's set 10 and 21. Nice shot from Tarek, though. He has been someone who's had those impact frags throughout. Not been his best performance by any stretch of the imagination, but you can see that he's still at least on the server. Rotation already coming in from Ethan onto B. They're expecting maybe that push to come in once again, and to be honest, it looks like they're right. Tarek can hear a lot of the footsteps as they go around, peeking from Simple, and he can't really afford to fight that, so it is going to switch up to the B side, where already 2 players sit for the CTs.
They storm down the ramp. Evil Geniuses, as that hard edge they had been softened off. Can they come back into this one? Beautiful double peek. So, killing Guardian, Breezy slays Simple, but Flamey, he's still alive. He's spamming away, panicked, but not poised. Overthrown, Boomich, not much time. He has to act now. The bomb's got to go down, and all this requires is them to push him and annihilate him whilst he's getting it planted, which they will. The bomb goes down, but it means nothing, as Evil Geniuses will win the round.
Yeah, I think that's been coming. At least one of those going their way. I think that's definitely been coming. And I think that, although it's not necessarily his fault in a sense, but the fact that that SG falls into enemy hands, they managed to get that back on their rotation, and it just happens to go to Cirque, who has started to really step up in this series. 19 and 18, top fragging on his team. Only a few off being top fragger in the server. Now that has to be the round that ignites EG. They get a round where they basically only had a few SMGs, scouts, pistols. And now T's actually starting to run out of money. It's only Simple with a lot left in the bank. The rest of the team are 1,700 and below. EG is definitely not out of this map just yet. And things could easily turn for the CIS squad.
They need to rally behind this now. Cirque almost as if like a war banner for the side to get him pumped up because he's doing damage. Is it maintainable though? Is it sustainable? That's going to be the big question as we go into round 25. 13-11. If they can try and link a few together, they could bring this scoreline back, but Guardian wants exactly the opposite. Cirque is gone. No longer going to be the pivotal factor for EG. And this is where it gets really worrying. Ethan holding towards that lower site may be tested if they do slide down secret. For now, it's just Electronic that's there. He's lurking in the vent. He's hoping they're going to make the first mistake, but the timing is everything. If Ethan pushes too far forward, Tom, this could be a free frag.
Oh, the timing! Oh, Guardian's going to get it just about. Ethan stuck within 2 positions, within 2 mines, and I wonder if the CTs now just have to save. The bomb's going to go down on B. They're retaking. Has had its moments, but I don't think it's been anything really special that they would be able to win a 3 versus 5. Flamey may be able to take down some extra players, but Stan actually gets a slight upgrade. The Tees do have a little bit of extra money, so I wouldn't mind seeing 1 or 2 players still looking to hunt down these guns, and Boomage is doing just that. Simple also going on the hunt here, and it's understandable. Every weapon gone is one that has to be rebought. They can reduce severely the chance of a rebuy, although the loss bonus should still be at 2,900, so I don't think there's going to be that much trouble for them, especially if they can keep these 2 guns. Cirque as well with money in the bank. It is going to be another buy, but at least they make things that little bit more costly. And that's a nice shot right at the end from Simple.
Oh, you're going to be kicking yourself. That could have been an extra bit of firepower. With the money they had, it would have meant an extra couple of nades thrown in.
You can tell that by that point, surely, I think, was it Stan who went down, or was it someone else? Either way, they were probably working out, right, okay, can buy this, can buy this, can buy this, and then it's like, as the round ends, bang!
And I'm dead. Yeah. Not the dream scenario. 14-11 now. I mean, they still get a double AWP setup out from it. Oh, and one of them already starts to come into play. As Electronic is sent into the front. Blown to bits. Stanislaw as well with the second. Playing a beautiful tune on these 2 magnificent weapons. A frag apiece for both of the authors into the round so far, Tom.
Yeah, this is one of the best scenarios they've had. They're clearly moving away from what has been the nade-heavy setups and just moving into what is the pick play, which, to be fair, with the firepower, with the individual skill that's been on Na'Vi throughout this match, it's understandable. Build up. Looking to come into this A site once again. The same crossfire that was relatively unsuccessful before. Like, damage was done, but the kills didn't go their way. He's going to attempt it. Bit of damage caused, but they are going to make their way into the vent. Boomage also catching him out on the outside with the AWP. Is going to try and hold off rotation. Timing going to be everything. He misses a shot, and Ethan will capitalize on top of that. However, once again, the bomb is looking to make his way down. Cirque desperately trying to get that kill to give his team that 3v1, but he's not going to spot anything. The smoke has shrouded his vision. Ethan now coming around the corner. He's going to meet his doom as well. Back into this 2v2 once again, this clutch situation. These positions where Na'Vi have been so good throughout the map so far. The peek comes in. Cirque almost misses. It's left onto Guardian. He's going to take that first as well and even gets back past. It's now all onto Cirque. The flashbang not going to make it through the door. And while just playing with his food at this point, Guardian is the master of the clutch and Cirque is just his student.
That's impeccable. So good. 15-11. Slamming the door in his face and potentially shutting the door for Evil Geniuses to be going to the semi-finals. As Na'Vi, they need 1 round now to stamp that ticket and secure their place. Guaranteed, at the very least, a semi-finals finish in the arena. Whereas EG would have to try and fight tooth and nail from the quarters, but that's still yet to be decided. We move back into the game. Round 27, outside, instantly being confronted here. As Na'Vi, they're trying to take it with a spring in their step. They jump to it, Tom.
It's happening again, though. Electronic is just able to gain so much ground, and they've got to be so careful. We've talked about timing a lot in this map, but I don't see a way that Cirque is going to get away with anything here unless he turns around at the perfect moment.
Oh my my god.
I like this from Electronic, though. He's trying to basically pull a Houdini magic trick. Knows there's the first. Spins around. Doesn't quite get the second. It's a decent attempt. Cirque going to be pressured now. And they know that there's barely any out of control. And the CTs might just have to get aggressive here, trying to take the fights, but there's players waiting.
Na'Vi, they're making it look like it's theirs to take. It's on a platter. 45 seconds left on the clock. It's a 4 versus 2. Tarek and Ethan. No utility remaining. No backup. No one to help them. It's all just down to these two's individual brilliance as Tarek will find one kill. Slays Guardian, but he's lost his brother in arms. And Simple will find the headshot and peel back his scalp as Na'Vi take the series. It's a 16-11 win over Evil Geniuses. They're going to the semi-finals of Pro League Season 10.